Why do humans keep believing in God? Not just once, but across every civilization, every century, every corner of the world. After thousands of years of philosophy, science, and enlightenment, that belief has not faded. Billions today hold on to faith with the same intensity as their ancestors. So what is going on? Is it tradition, fear, or something deeper in the human mind? The answer is not simple. Belief does not vanish when evidence appears. It adapts, evolves, survives. That persistence is rooted in how our brains are built, how societies function, and how deeply we need meaning. Humans hate uncertainty. Our brains are pattern-seeking machines. We survive because we learn to spot threats and to make sense of chaos. If you heard a rustle in the grass, assuming it was a predator kept you alive. That instinct, hyperactive agency detection, shaped how we think. We don't just see events, we see intentions behind them. When early humans faced lightning, disease, earthquakes, they applied the same logic. Something must be causing this. Enter God. But it goes deeper. Belief in God offers something no other system can. It answers the one question every conscious being asks: what happens when I die? That is the ultimate unknown. The fear of it is so powerful that entire civilizations built their identities around escaping it. Heaven, reincarnation, paradise all promise the same thing. Death is not the end. For millions, that hope outweighs any argument against it. Belief didn't survive because it felt good. It survived because it worked. In early societies, shared faith created unity. When a tribe believed the same stories, it built trust. Trust meant cooperation. Cooperation meant survival. Religion became one of the first systems of social control. Before governments or courts, divine rules backed by eternal consequences kept order in ways no human authority could match. Fast forward to today. We have science now. We understand lightning, disease, earthquakes, yet belief persists. Why? Because removing mystery doesn't remove the need for meaning. Science can tell you how the universe started, not why. It can explain life's mechanics, not its purpose. For many, God fills that gap. He's the answer to every unanswered question. But there is another layer. Belief is not just comfort or fear. It is identity. For billions, faith is who they are, family, culture, community. To question it challenges your sense of self. That is why changing beliefs is so difficult. It is not about evidence. It is like tearing out a piece of your foundation. Cognitive biases reinforce this. Confirmation bias is one of the strongest. We notice things that support what we already believe while ignoring contradictions. If someone prays for healing and recovers, they call it a miracle. If nothing happens, they call it God's will. Either way, the belief survives. Every outcome becomes evidence. Then there is social pressure. In many cultures, leaving faith means losing family, friends, your support network. Communities built on shared religion view doubt as betrayal. Belief becomes less about truth and more about survival within the group. Now, morality. One common argument says that without God, morality collapses, but morality did not come from Scripture. It evolved because it helped communities thrive. Cooperation, fairness, and empathy made survival possible before any holy book. We see moral behavior in species with no religion. Elephants mourn. Primates show fairness. Right and wrong are rooted in our nature as social beings. Here is the paradox. Even when people start doubting, belief clings. Why? Because faith is not only about truth, it is about trust, but to trust, belonging, and security. People compartmentalize. They accept evolution in class, yet pray before surgery. It feels safer to hold some certainty than to step fully into the unknown. That is not weakness. That is human. But let us address believer arguments. Pascal's wager says if God exists and you believe, you gain everything. If he does not, you lose nothing. Sounds clever, but which god? Zeus, Odin, Vishnu, Allah? You cannot force belief just because it is safer. Pascal's wager is fear, not truth. Then there is the design argument. The universe is too complex to exist by chance, but complexity can arise from simple rules over time. That is evolution. When people say the universe is perfectly tuned for life, they forget this. If the conditions were not right, we would not be here to notice. That is survivorship bias, not design. These arguments appeal to emotion, but they do not solve mysteries. They rename them. That is the God of the gaps. Every unanswered question gets filled with divine action. Don't know what caused lightning? Zeus. Plagues? God's punishment. Today we know electricity and germs, but the pattern persists. Don't know what caused the Big Bang? Must be God. Yet history shows that as knowledge expands, those gaps shrink. Belief built on gaps is always temporary. Many people today say they are spiritual but not religious. They reject organized institutions but still believe in some higher power. Why? The psychological needs have not gone away. People crave meaning, transcendence, connection. Spirituality offers that without strict rules. Belief is not disappearing. It is adapting. Belief in God is not a flaw, it is a byproduct of being human. Our brains seek patterns, crave certainty, fear death, and need belonging. Religion taps into all those instincts. It gives answers where there are none. It promises justice where there is chaos. It offers eternity where there is only limited time. For many, that is enough. But here's the question that changes everything. If the universe doesn't have a plan, can life still have meaning? Yes, but it's a different kind. Not handed down from above. Created from within. That makes it fragile but powerful. If no one writes the script for us, then every choice we make, every kindness we show, every bit of beauty we create matters because we chose it. Not because it was commanded, not because it earns a reward, but because it's who we decided to be. That's not emptiness, that's freedom. Think about what that means. If this is the only life we have, time becomes precious. Every moment carries weight. We don't need eternity to make life meaningful. We need presence. Maybe that's the most honest hope. Not that the universe watches over us, but that we can watch over each other. Not that justice is guaranteed, but that we can fight for it here. Not that love lasts forever elsewhere, but that we can make it matter fiercely now. The absence of a divine plan doesn't make life less significant. It makes it entirely ours. So why do humans keep believing in God? Because it answers questions we hate to leave open, because it gives comfort when life hurts, because it binds people together, because our brains are built to see patterns, purpose, and agents behind every shadow. These forces run so deep that even when knowledge expands, they do not disappear. Understanding that does not make you superior to believers. It makes you compassionate. Once you see why people believe, you stop seeing belief as a mystery and start seeing it as a mirror, reflecting the very things that make us human, the fear, the hope, the longing for connection. And when we see that, we stop fighting over who is right and start asking better questions. Not whether God exists, but what it means to live well when certainty is impossible. Not whether faith is foolish, but how we create meaning when the universe offers none. Once we stop searching for answers in the heavens, we can start building them here, together, on the only world we know, in the only life we have. If this made you think, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into religion, belief, and what it all means. Drop a comment below. Do you think belief in God will ever fade, or is it wired into us forever? Let's talk.